The notion of nurses eating their young is not a myth, but rather an unfortunate reality that is affecting large numbers of nurses within the healthcare team.
To illustrate the impact of bullying in nursing, please consider the following short scenario. It is your first day as a new graduate on the unit you were hired to work on. As you arrive for the first day of your orientation, you greet one of the nurses at the nursing station. While they do not appear busy, they look up to send a glare in your direction before looking away. Thinking that maybe this was a misinterpretation on your part, you move on and begin your shift. When you step off of the unit for your break, you stop outside the break room to briefly check your phone. While stopped, you overhear a conversation from the other room, and you hear the nurse that you greeted this morning telling another nurse how they saw you struggling to log on to the computers, and how you must be one of those incompetent new hires. Picturing yourself in this situation, how would you feel? How might a comment like this impact your self-image and confidence as a future nurse? Now we're going to explore some of the root causes in workplace bullying among nurses. An article by Balanon Boccato in 2018 explored Frere's theory of oppression, which has been used in nursing literature to define the oppressed state of the nursing profession for years. As Balanon Boccato expressed in their article, whether we would like to admit it or not, the culture of oppression in nursing is something prevailing. She explains that perhaps from a time when the profession of nursing fell under a male-dominated group of physicians, or from a time when nurses and doctors belonged to different herds and groups, this was a time when overt and covert behaviors were used to put people in their place, and as a way to achieve power over one's peers. When addressing the concept of horizontal violence within nursing, it is important to consider the underlying social and historical contexts that have contributed to this sort of dynamic. The concept of nurses eating their young and nurses' bullying behaviors have been partly explained as being a reflection of both gender bias and hierarchical healthcare power structures. One report explains that a post-colonial feminist lens highlights these hierarchical natures of nursing practice within clinical settings. Tracing back our profession's history over the last 50 years, it appears that the typical hierarchies between medicine and nursing resulted in physicians having and using power over others, especially nurses.
Created using Powtoon.